In the past, Leon was in an adventure party named Silver Tiger Corps. Their leader, Bichot, is even smarter than the average tiger kind. And also Leon's older brother. One night, their adventurer party tried to tackle the merciless labyrinth, Metal Moon Goal. One by one, the members of their party are picked off by different kinds of traps. However, their party didn't give up. They entered the labyrinth to take every treasure inside. This would have been impossible without their brother's intellect. His brother has attained fame and fortune in large amounts. Unfortunately, this also attracted his death. He died a pitiful death in his home at the hands of humans. From that day on, Leon never trusted humans ever again. In the present, Leon is now in the hands of the guards after being caught cheating on the mathematics bare-knuckle battle. A guard enters, draws his sword, and slowly stabs him in the chest. The guard asks Leon where the treasure his people took. The treasure never showed up in the black market, so Leon must have it. In truth, Leon is indeed keeping one special secret. It is the treasure that he took from the labyrinth that night. It was a treasure that is too dangerous to use or even sell. Leon calls upon the treasure sword of ruin, and it instantly breaks into the room and floats in front of Leon. Elsewhere, Tiana is carefully scrutinizing the players around the table. There is the blue-haired woman providing money to her boyfriend. This is the blonde-haired boyfriend, who Tiana will call the leech. This is the dealer expertly shuffling the cards who is planning to swindle the leech. And lastly, another guy just taking the opportunity to make some small change. Tiana narrows her eyes and silently declares that she will crush them all without hesitation. They are currently playing poker inside a casino. Various games like slot machines and roulettes can be heard all around, with chips changing hands ever so often. Nick is just absent-mindedly looking around while Kizuna is happily waiting at the back of a line. After finishing the arithmetic bare-knuckle match, the survivors have made a bit of money and are currently on break. One day while browsing magazines, Kizuna discovered that the ice cream served at the casino is quite good. Thus, he and Nick asks Tiana to bring them there. Unfortunately for Kizuna, a casino employee abruptly informs him that the ice cream is sold out. Kizuna tries to explain that he had been waiting for so long in line, but the girl just answers him with passive-aggressive politeness. Kizuna walks away and Nick suggests that they can play some games in the casino. But Kizuna informs him that he has a limiter set on his ethical code that makes him unable to gamble. Kizuna looks at gamblers' cards and is amazed to find out that they use anti-magic paint. A dealer happily explains to them that everything used in their game is processed so they repel magic. Outside the casino, Leon had just arrived. However, he is now transformed into a larger, more aggressive version of himself. Meanwhile, a stack of chips has accumulated in front of Tiana in the course of her game. The other guys around the table are looking annoyed while the dealer flashes a smile to Tiana. She and the dealer silently communicate that they will swindle the leech together. When the cards are shown, Tiana has the best hand, which means she means all the chips once again. The leech protests that Tiana must be cheating, but Tiana just feigns innocence while the others look away. Tiana continues to taunt him that he does not have what it takes to gamble, and he doesn't even use his own money anyway. The leech angrily stands from the table and walks away, leaving his girl behind. The girl asks Tiana if she was trying to make the guy stop gambling, but Tiana explains that she was just taking advantage of an easy mark. The girl smiles and thanks Tiana, and Tiana advises her to just leave the guy. As a gambler, one must know when to abandon something. The girl asks if Tiana thinks she has what it takes to be a gambler, but Tiana points out she's already a gambler, the kind that will never give up on her dark horse and wins in the end. Out of nowhere, a commotion outside suddenly captures their attention. Crowds of people are running away from something. Tiana calmly stays put and watches as a large tiger-like creature enters the casino. Meanwhile, Leon is looking at each person inside the casino. He's getting confused as to where he is. Since he only just wants to find Nick, a group of guards confronts him with sticks, but he easily swats them away. In his mind, he remembers when he and Nick met that one time. He recognized that, unlike him, Nick never fell into despair. He hated it and was jealous of him for it. Back in prison after summoning the Sword of Ruin, the sword cuts his bindings off and asks him if he is finally willing to use it. Leon tells the sword that he just wants to kill someone. In response, the sword promises to evolve his senses so he can hunt his target. Leon then grabs the sword and shouts, "Evolution." With that, he easily defeated the guards and broke out of the prison. This brings us to the casino, where Leon is now tracking Nick's smell in his evolved form. Tiana and the girl are discreetly watching him while the others are trying to escape the casino. Tiana laments that she left her equipment at the deposit when entering, so she can't fight the monster. Unfortunately for her, Leon finally finds her and recognizes her as Nick's party member. He asks Tiana where Nick is, but Tiana doesn't recognize Leon. When Leon finally introduces himself, Tiana is shocked at the change in his appearance. He then asks her again about Nick's location and warns her that with this evolved form, he can smell if she's lying. Deeper inside the casino, Nick and Kizuna finally hear the commotion and are confused to see the throngs of people running past them. Meanwhile, Leon is now threatening to crush Tiana with his paws if she doesn't answer truthfully. She asks him why he's taking her hostage, and Leon replies that Nick will of course rescue his friends. This makes Tiana laugh, and she tells Leon that they aren't actually friends. Her actions confuse Leon, so Tiana takes this opportunity to lighten up her pipe using her igniter. She explains to Leon that it's a very special igniter given to her by her professor. She then stabs the igniter at Leon and electrocutes him with it. While Leon is down, Tiana and the girl quickly run past him to escape. Their escape is cut short, however, when Leon throws a table right in front of them. Tiana falls to the ground while the girl is knocked unconscious by the table. Tiana is shocked to see Leon without a burn on his body and slowly walking towards her. She shouts at the leech cowering behind a table to go rescue his girl, and in a rare show of courage, the guy actually does. Tiana tells Leon that their party members aren't actually friends, but just a group of fragile people supporting each other. They just help each other until they can gain a profit and enjoy their individual lives. Leon sniffs the air and gets confused since Tiana doesn't smell like lies. However, he still wants to test her and attacks her with his sword. To Tiana's surprise, Nick is there to block the sword. Lightning crackles between the two at their swords meet. Nick then looks back and tells Tiana that she can't die since he would feel indebted to her if she did. Leon is about to continue the fight when his sword speaks again and warns him that someone else was there. Nick's sword, the Sword of Bonds, answers them and greets them. It turns out that the Sword of Bonds and the Sword of Ruin know each other. Nick finally notices that Leon is also talking to his own sword, but the Sword of Bonds warns him that the Sword of Ruin seems to be the one in control. The Sword of Ruin greets the Sword of Bonds since it has been several centuries since they have met last. It asks them to step aside, but Nick and his sword reject the request. The Sword of Ruin decides to give its full power to Leon, further increasing his size and strength. The Sword of Bonds tries to talk sense into the enemy's sword, since Leon clearly can't handle the power and his mind would get consumed along with his body. The enemy ignores their pleas as Leon suddenly attacks Nick again. Nick dodges the attack and Tiana shouts out that they might need to use Union to defeat Leon. Since it's their only choice, Nick and Tiana combine, transforming themselves into a long-haired individual wielding the Sword of Bonds. They cast Ice Age, freezing the surroundings and imprisoning Leon with ice shields. Leon easily breaks their ice and charges at Nick-Tiana hybrid. They dodge him, but he just continues going on a rampage. In his mind, Leon doesn't know anymore what he's doing. He won't make any money from going on a rampage, and no one gets happy from it. It's not what he wants to do, but he can't seem to stop destroying everything around him. All he wants is a little payback, but now people are flying from his swipes, guards, women, and children. There are no exceptions. Even the pricey-looking ornaments which he would have stolen before are now just laid to waste by his very own hands. The Sword of Ruin answers him, telling him that it's fun having overwhelming power. What's more, everyone is left speechless by their power. They run, hide, and accept their death might come at any second. Leon releases a blood-curdling growl, but on the inside, he's wishing for everything to just stop. While he's distracted, Nick-Tiana attacks and once again imprisons Leon in a block of ice. Inside his mind, Leon is confronting the Sword of Ruin. The sword tells him that from the day he took him from the labyrinth, he was already a rampaging beast. That's why he managed to obtain the sword in the first place. Leon denies the sword allegation and insists that he was just going on an adventure with his brother, whom he admired. However, the sword reminds him that his brother still died. Meanwhile, Nick-Tiana hybrid casts Ice Spear, stabbing Leon with icicles throughout his body. Leon cries out in pain, but inside he's still talking to the sword, telling him that his brother died because the people they thought were their friends killed him. Even though they took care of them, they still killed him. However, the sword points out that it is exactly why Leon hates humanity and why the sword chose him. That is also why Leon started deceiving people and scamming them. Leon tells the sword that he's not a bad person. He was once just a kid enjoying life with his brother. He wishes someone would save him to stop his rampaging body. And as an answer to his wish, the ice around him crackled and Nick Tiana was there. They shower him with cards, and Leon slowly topples over and drops the sword. Nick Tiana immediately freezes the sword while Leon is reverted back to his original form. It turns out the anti-magic coating in the cards repelled the Sword of Ruin's magic. By sealing up the magic causing the evolution, the blessing to the sword's wielder is cut off. Nick Tiana then takes the sword, leaving Leon lying on the ground surrounded by guards. Later, Leon is back in jail, now with chains preventing him from escaping. Nick then visits him and observes how Leon's body has grown worse after his evolution. Leon had grown thin with his muscles now gone. He then informs Leon that even though the casino was wrecked, no one got hurt. Moreover, they have sealed the sword. Leon realizes that Nick was the long-haired blonde individual he fought and laughs in satisfaction that Nick is still the one who defeated him. As Nick walks away, Leon confesses that he never got drunk on the money made from deceiving people.